that I experienced, I was very young. I wasn't able to hold a beer in my hand and drink. Well, I probably could have, but someone wouldn't have liked it. So for me, I'm down the Emirates last night and I'm seeing scenes, bruv. And that wasn't even the parade. That wasn't even the expected one. That wasn't the planned one. And I'm seeing hundreds of thousands, not a couple of thousand, hundreds of thousands of people spill out into the streets. I watched it in the bar, it's chaos, bruv. Carnage. I watched it in a pub. Yeah, Hybrid is an famous cock. I was with my boys. And literally it went off, spilled onto the street, straight down to the stadium. And I wasn't even expecting what I saw, bro. I was expecting a lot of elation, a lot of joy. The emotions are all real, man. And look, there's been so many years that have passed where we've all had doubt, whether you believed in Arteta or Emery or Wenger or didn't believe in those three managers. None of that matters now, bro. We've got it across the line. We can finally be happy, celebrate and unite. And look, there'll be the section of the fan base that wanted to be here, and I told you so, and I'm right. Let them be right.
We want to fucking Premier League, man. Who cares about that shit?
Let them be right. Let them celebrate with us. If they don't want to celebrate with people, crack on. I've seen a lot of it today. It's a bit bizarre, in my opinion, but come on, man. This is what we all wanted, bro. This is what we all dreamed about. This is what we wanted, and we got it. And Mikel Arteta's got it across the line, bro. The only question mark I had. And I've done my reaction video and I've apologized for not believing because I believe now. He's made me believe. Last night, what I saw was absolute carnage, bro. And I've not seen the Emirates like that ever. But the last time that I was there at a similar kind of gathering was the COVID era when we was trying to get the Cronkies out for the European Super League. The timing of that to now it looks chalk and cheese in a matter of 6 years. And Mikel was a massive part of that, man. Mikel was a massive part of that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Bro, I don't know what to say. I can hear it in your voice, and I've definitely got the same. We're on the verge of losing. Exactly. We're on the verge of losing our voices, yeah. You know what? For context, people, me and Dan spoke about this at Dee's wedding about are we going to get the league over the line, blah, 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 all of that kind of stuff. You know, I've believed in Arteta a lot more than Dan, but Dan's made a lot of good comments. And I think personally, I think you're misunderstood. I think you've never hidden from the fact that you like the manager. You obviously think he's good, all of these kind of things. But as you said there, silverware. And if I'm honest with myself, I came into this season, bro, like, how do I make it make sense? Like in the last 4 years, yeah, including this year, this was the first year I came into it. Clubs are off. We need to deliver. If Arteta don't do that, then you do need to go respectfully. Like it needs to happen. And I have believed at every point, bro, that we're going to win this title. Now I say that to say this. When we drew against Wolves away, I was done. When we lost to Bournemouth, I was done. Like I've seen Declan Rice's comments about it's not over. It's aged like wine, innit? I thought it was done. These boys didn't give up. The manager didn't give up. The players didn't give up. We've got it over the line. And as you said there, you know, you're a couple years older than me, but we're kind of in that bracket in that this is my first as an adult. The last one, I didn't know. The last time we won it, I couldn't have a beer. Didn't know what pussy was. Balls didn't drop. Now look at everything now, bro. Like, look at what we've got. Like, and like you said, I was at the Emirates. I never got to see Dan. I mean, there's 100 odd people there.
It's impossible.
Mad, yeah? But I see Scripto, and Scripto was going mad. And that's the thing, man. You're seeing little kids, much older individuals, men, women, different cultures, just Arsenal fans, just good chaos, man. The fireworks, everything. And obviously, I don't want to be that guy, Dan, but away from Arsenal, yeah, one thing I like about it, I know they call us victims, but it is us against the world. People that don't support City have put more energy into supporting City than their own football clubs. And it was all for nothing. I don't want to get ahead of myself, yeah, but this is a question I'm asking people because I can't answer it myself. And obviously, you ain't got a crystal ball, broski, but we've got this first one over the line. We've got that monkey off the back, 20 odd years, 4 years under the manager. Obviously, with Pep leaving and all of these kind of things going, do you think this is the start of an era of, I say the word dominance subjectively, but like, is this an era for you where we pick up a couple of titles? This ain't the only one. Like, do you really think this has kicked the wheels in motion type of thing?
Now, this needs to be the start of the Mikel Arteta era now. This is the start of the Arsenal era for me. And I said earlier, when we last spoke, that I wanted to win the Carabao Cup. And it wasn't because I love that trophy.
We was vexed about that. Yeah, we did.
I wanted to win that because I believed that no matter what it was, it would then give us the reassurance and confidence to go again in May. Now that we've got this one across the line, I truly believe now that we're in a situation where we can actually go and potentially go and win the next one now. Because I've got more confidence now. We've done it. We got it across the line. When we didn't get it across the line, I can't lie to you, I was doubting it still. It's still that, you know, we were like, is it going to be? There were some that said it's going to happen, but they've been it's going to happen for 7 years. Yeah. So when I look at it with my own eyes, I always had that kind of belief this season that it might be, but I didn't want to keep saying it because I kept saying, beat Liverpool, we'll go win it. Beat Forest, we go win it. Beat Chelsea, we go win it. And it kept going.
I was the same.
We couldn't beat them. And I'm like, why can't we? Same with the City. So when we went out to Southampton and I'm like, please, no, we can't be crumbling this again. And now that we got across the line, people are believing, bruv. People are believing now. Like, real talk, I am so much more confident going to this Champions League final now than I would have been if we would have been last game of the season against Palace. Who knows what happens? Scrape it across the line. Oh,
I'm happy we ain't going to talk about that one.
We ain't even got to bother about that now on Sunday. Rest everybody. Get them ready for this PSG game, man. So it's the best, bruv. It's the best. It's the best feeling ever. The emotions were all over the place watching that City game. I think you were the same. And then we pile onto the streets and we enjoy the Emirates, mate. And last night was mad. The love you get as well. People coming up to you, like celebrating.
100%.
It was incredible, man. Incredible people.
Now, even like you touched on that as well. That was away from Arsenal. That was a very heartwarming moment for me yesterday, innit? Like, big up to everyone who's obviously seen Dan, seen myself, seen everybody that makes content, and it's you lot that keep it going. That was a heartwarming moment. Like, you don't really deep the love that you do for people, whether they agree with your opinions or not. It's still surreal. It ain't sunk in. I was doing a watch along for the Bournemouth game. Obviously, you know what happened. It still didn't sink in. I had to keep pinching myself. When I was at Finsbury Park, it still didn't sink in. It still ain't sunk in, bro. Maybe it's sunk in for you because you for backstories, not to talk too much on where Dan was, yeah, but he's not too long ago just woken up, bro, which is the sort of stuff I want to hear, man. That is what I want to hear. Obviously, like, I've had this conversation on your channel the last time I was on your panel show, yeah. Like, I've always said, where you look at Mikel Arteta and Berta or Edu previously, I don't really think that you can do the whole owner stuff. I think whether we win like today, it's on them. Whether we've fallen short in previous years, it's on them. But like, has your thoughts changed with the Cronkies, with this journey? And I know they came out with the comments about we don't want to sit still. Like, and as you actually said, the last time we was kind of connected was we wanted you lot out, and we're in a different space now. What's your thoughts with the ownership now?
My thoughts with the ownership were that I was questioning their ambition to win. I was questioning whether they wanted to deliver trophies at Arsenal if they were happy with Champions League football. And in the last couple of decisions they've made, you've got to say they've showed the ambition to win trophies. And the reason that I say that is because they've upgraded on Edu with Andrea Berta, who clearly is one of the best in the business. They've given Arteta what I believe is financial stability and financial power. And they've allowed him to select who he wants with what money. We've spent a lot of money on players that are backups, the Noni Maduekes of this world, the Gabriel Jesuses, the Kai Havertz, some unbelievable amount of money. Gabriel Martinelli's on 180k a week. So you can't say that the Cronkies haven't allowed this money to be spent. At times, I think they've spent it wrong or they've allowed people to spend it wrong. But in the last couple of years, I've noticed a huge change, particularly since Josh Kroenke has taken more ownership. I think, people will say, don't mention Stan, fair play, but he's still got to give the reins to his son, and he's done that and trusted him to believe to do it. And he's allowed him to have that kind of power. He is a powerful voice at Arsenal, as is, I think, now Andrea Berta. And I still think Mikel Arteta has a powerful voice. And together now, we don't have to doubt whether they want to win. We don't have to doubt whether Arteta can win, because they clearly want to win and they clearly have just won, and Arteta is good enough to get it across the line. All those questions will now be stopped, whether it be from Arsenal fans who didn't believe, whether it be Arsenal fans who had doubt like myself, whether it be a rival fan who doesn't believe Arsenal were very good. There's not really any rival fan that would look at that scenario in the last 6 years and say, these Arsenal fans are mental. Like, they've got one of the best managers in the world there. What are they doing? Like, just I know they haven't won yet, but come on. They were all thinking, is this going to happen? Because they should, but will they? And I think this is the last time anybody will say that now. And I think with Arteta, where I'll give him the biggest praise, it's not just about winning. It's about dealing with the pressure in the last few weeks, knowing that you are going to have a neck/job on the line if you do not get one of these across the line. And he's managed to do that in terms of pressurized situations, whether it be West Ham, whether it be against Sporting Lisbon, whether it be against Burnley, wherever it be, you do not care who the opposition is, because the pressure makes it bigger than the game should be. So I feel you've got to be massive credit to him and the players and the coaching staff as well. They don't get enough credit. They've been great. Gabriel Heinze has come in. Nicholas Jove has been a huge part of why we're scoring from set pieces. You've got to look at what Albert's done.
Was a set piece.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got to look at what Albert's done alongside him and some of the other manager coaches that's come in, that you now believe there's a kind of a togetherness. And at the Emirates, we've seen in the last few years it's got better. The atmosphere at times has been flat and nervy this season. I expect that in a title race at times. But I will say this, when we got to the Champions League final, it's the best night I've seen at the Emirates. And what I saw last night eclipsed anything I ever imagined the Emirates could have been, bro.
And this is what's ridiculous. And we've needed this, man. This is the whole reason we've moved to the stadium. I know it's that cliche thing, but around Wenger built the stadium, Arteta turned the lights on. I do want to ask you as well, like, I think I can answer this. Like, I don't think there's anybody, even Arteta's biggest of haters, which none of us are, yeah. He has to get a new deal, right? Like, without a doubt, like, he's probably going to, like, there's no way that it's, we needed you to get over the line. You've done it. Also, for me, I actually forgive you for dumb things. I forgive you for starting Kepa in that League Cup final now, because you've got this Premier League over the line. And it's meant a lot, man. Like, it really's meant a lot, because we know that we've not got over the line and there's so many criticisms, but we've also been good at so many things. And we've got to that point where we're a competitive side. As you mentioned there, like, we've been to the Champions League. We're getting to a Champions League final. You mentioned the night against Madrid. It's just about cementing it in legacy. Now you've done that. Give this man a new contract, and let's not rest on our laurels, because me and you have had this conversation before. Like, when I removed the fact that I'm hyped and excited, there's a bit of, I say a bit of work to be done subjectively. Like, there's a bit of evolution, because the boys have been together for a while. We need to clearly move some people on. We need to bring in, for me, some A-listers. And even that, like, do you think the fact that we've won the Premier League and we're in the Champions League final, does that open us up, in your opinion, to a new bracket of players? Like, I know we're not going to sign PSG's Kvaratskhelia, but players of that ilk, for want of better examples.
If we go and do the unthinkable, we could do that already, but if we go and do the unthinkable, which is both, and it is the unthinkable, no one thought we would win the Premier League and Champions League this season, and we're so close to it now. I think it gives you the ambition to go and do what you want. And I don't care if people want the names I'll mention, but I think we should be going and considering putting in bids for the likes of Kvaratskhelia, Kylian Mbappe, Morgan Rogers, Julian Alvarez. All of these guys should be being spoken about. Now, we might not get the ball and we might not get one of them, but they should be the guys that we're looking at, in my opinion. One thing I will say, though, DG, I don't want to do an Arnie slot. I don't want to go, right, that team was great. Let's all crumble this up and get 8 new faces in, and it all goes tits up. So for me, I think we've got to be really careful. And I would actually be fine if we kept some of the squad players again and kept them as squad players, but brought in 3 or 4 really good faces, big names,
the levels,
to raise the level. And then you keep a Trossard, or you keep a Havertz, or you keep a Noni Madueke, or a Odegaard, or whatever. Or maybe you even keep an Ethan Nwaneri and promote him. I don't care what it is. I need to see the quality coming in now, not the quantity. We've got our squad. There will be a couple that leave, because naturally they'll want to leave, or naturally they're not being good enough. You've got to remember Reece Nelson and Fabi Vieira are coming back into this side. Carl Hein, players like that people have forgotten about. Obviously, you look at the likes now of players that people want upgraded. I think Ben White and Kepa and Norgard and, you know, potentially Gabriel Jesus and Trossard, I think will all be looked to kind of being upgraded. I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that. I don't think that ruins the team. If we started our 11 and we said, right, we now need to put 6 new players into this starting 11, I'd actually be a bit like, whoa, calm. We don't need to do
too
that.
Much change.
Don't need too much change. They're settled. I don't really want to be seeing a new player come in, to play instead of Saka, instead of Timber, instead of Gabriel, instead of Rice. I want to be playing alongside those guys. So for me, I think we've got to be careful about what we do. But I've got faith in Berta to do that. I really have. And I think out of the 8 signings, probably 5 of them have worked. There's probably 3 that are questionable. I think the goalkeeper is questionable, but I always felt that when we signed him. I didn't really ever understood the signing of Noni Madueke. And Norgard was a strange one for the lack of minutes. But everybody else, Eze, Gyökeres, Zubamendi, Mosquera, Nkapie, they've all come in and done. I think it's good. Do you know what I'm saying?
All hits in that regards. Like Noni. The only thing I could give Noni is, I don't understand why you were signed, but I understand why you were signed, because when Saka's been out, you've been a good squad player. Me and you had that conversation before where we said he's not as bad as people make out. It doesn't warrant the petitions, but it's not a level raiser. It's not a curtain raiser. Now, I hope that could be the case. I don't really want to bet on potential. And Dan earlier made a great list of the players. I would add one more when you was talking about Rodgers, etc. Not just because he scored yesterday, but Krutty, that Bournemouth guy. I want that at the Emirates. You see, when we're talking about potential and stuff, they're the kind of man I want. Like, work, Arteta, go and work with that. Don't work with the Nonis, etc. Noni, it's all love. You're here. It is what it is. But we can't rest on our laurels, because as you said, with naming Onslaught, when you get to the peak, it's one thing getting there, it's another thing staying there. Now we've got the first Emirates title era, first title of the Emirates era. I want to see something I haven't seen my club do, which is retain the Premier League. Fingers, toes, and we'll get onto it in a bit. I'll cross for next week. But I want to see us win the European title. I want to be in these high pressure states. So you've got the monkey off your back. You know that you can kind of do this now. And I'm not saying we're going to win the league all the time, but it's almost a thing where I was scared in this last furlong, because we have typically crumbled. And this is the part where we do look a bit giddy, like we ain't been here before. It's getting a bit mad. You've got that experience, like you said, with Arteta handling pressure. So if we're there 12 months from now, I've got complete confidence that you lot can do this. And I know everybody talks about injuries, but we've dealt with injuries. We've dealt with referees. We've dealt with self-implodement at errors at times this season. Arteta's got a lot right, but he also got a lot wrong across the course of the season. At this moment in time, Zubimendi's doing what I call the reverse Eze and Gyökeres. And what I mean by that is he started his Arsenal career. The man was on fire, innit? Zubi's kind of hit a brick wall. He's feeling a bit sorry for himself. Big up Lewis Kelly. Where Gyökeres and Eze, they had to grow into it. And even with someone like Gyökeres, it's poetic, bro. He's helped us get our 14th league title, wearing the number 14, ended our drought, ended Sporting's, ended Sweden's. The biggest fairy tale is Eze. Like, could you imagine people, like, somebody said to Eze one day, the team that released you, the team that you support, Arsenal, they're going to sign you. You're going to do what you're going to do in the North London Derby. You're going to get in Champions League final. You're not only going to win the Premier League, but a potential guard of honor in South London, where it all started for Arsenal. So it all kind of worked. And do you know what? Yeah, I want to ask you about this. Because I must admit, I'm conflicted on this, Dan. A lot of people have said, and we have got over the line. Like you've said it, I've said it. We don't care how we play if you get over the line. We can nitpick and, we want to see exciting football, all that kind of jazz, bro. But 1-0s will take them. It got us over the line. Do you feel like with us getting the Prem over the line how we did, do you feel Arteta now might change things in an attacking sense and all the kind of stuff we've clamoured on about fans? Do you think next season we'll start to see all of that stuff? Or is he just going to, quote unquote, be stuck in his ways?
I tell you where I'm at. I think and I feared he'd be stuck in his ways because he'd be like, it works. Why change it? Okay. And then I heard that Pep was leaving. I think now he might take the shackles off, bruv. Because if you take the shackles off, you're coming up against a juggernaut. I don't believe Man City will be the juggernaut. I agree, it's the same squad. But Maresca, fairly decent manager, but he's not Pep.
You're not Pep.
Right? And I feel now we've got more chance of seeing us take the shackles off because of that. And I think that when you look back to 22-23, the football we were playing was outstanding and I loved it. The reason that we went and fell short was two reasons. I don't think the squad was quite there back then, and also Pep Guardiola. Now you've not got Pep Guardiola and you've got the squad that's there. There's no reason to go all out and actually play some attractive style football. The players are there, whether it be Gyökeres that you're looking at or Havertz, they do score goals. Jesus did as well. Obviously, you've got Saka and Martinelli that were 15 goals each that season. Ødegaard, 15 goals and assists. And then you've got the likes of Declan Rice. You've added to that since then. And some of the backup we've got now. Honestly, bro, I think it could be a really, really exciting style of play that we could kind of go to. Because one thing you've got to give Arteta credit for that I don't think people ever do is they now decide that he is this Mourinho manager. I think he's won the league with Arsenal in a Mourinho style. I'll give you that, or George Graham style. But I actually think he can adapt because I've seen him play about 3 or 4 styles of football in 6-7 years. Because if you remember when we first came into the club, we had Tierney and David Luiz lumping it long to Aubameyang, 3 at the back. Then we went to more of a ball-playing style, which I didn't think was going to get us across the line. It ended up getting us 5th instead of 4th. Then we went into a title race, adding a couple of players here and there. And since then, it's been like, oh, this is different. Then last couple of seasons, he's obviously reverted back to more compact, resolute, rigid style, which everyone laughs at us for scoring set pieces. But I think if you can do a mixture of both next season, there's nothing wrong with playing like that against the Real Madrid in the Champions League, or you go and win 1-0 against City or 1-0 against United at Old Trafford, whatever it be, I'm cool with that still. But I want to go and see us actually tear some of these teams apart next season. The Burnleys, the Fulhams, the Bournemouths, all these guys at home that we've struggled across the years. I want to see us go and put 2s and 3s past them, not 1-0, hold it out. So that's where I'm at, bro. That's where I'm at. I feel like we could see the shackles taken off next season now that Pep Guardiola is gone, because I feel like he'll be like, oh, yeah, that, what do they call them? The Sharks. The Sharks dead, man. It's gone. It's off. It's off ski. So
I heard the Sharks were circling, and you got the City bottle guy and all of those kind of things. I wanted to ask you, what do you make of the whole, like, Arsenal fans are unbearable? Because I get it. We obviously have some special fans that, we're the best thing since sliced bread or we're the worst things ever. But then I isolate it. I know we're probably the most publicized club on social media, but there's fans like that in all fan bases. And one thing I don't like, is you know me, I like banter in it, but everybody unites against Arsenal. Not even debating that, bro. Like, everyone wanted City to win the league. You call us unbearable. You want to call us bottlers, and you want to give it, but you can't take back what's been dished out. Like, what do you think of that? Because even the whole Man City bottle guy getting Sky Sports interviews and whatnot, I just want the same energy, man. But I wanted to ask you.
I do not actually believe it's everybody hates on Arsenal. I think there is an element of that. The reason I think that they are trying to hate on Arsenal is because they know there's a huge social media presence. That's what I think it was. If there was no social media, if there was none of us, no Robbies, no Turkish, no Curtis, no Troops, no me, you, etc., I really don't feel like the social media kind of presence would be as massive. So therefore, Talk Sport, media mainstreams would kind of, they ain't getting no bites here. They ain't none of them. No one cares about Arsenal. They ain't got any content creators. They ain't really got a massive presence on social media. Let's lay off them. Let's go to United because they're massive on social media with Goldbridge and Co. Or Liverpool with, Anfield Agenda and Redmen, etc. Let's go to them two teams. They're massive. They'll blow up. And I think because Liverpool and Man United get it as well. Liverpool got it last year. Oh, it's the worst season ever. Liverpool might as well put an asterisk. Put an asterisk.
When they want to drink overtime.
COVID, the asterisks, all that. So they had it as well. We're getting it now. When you're good and you're at the top, people hate you. We just forgotten it because we haven't been at the top and won for a long time in the Premier League. And when you win a cup, it's great. But everyone says, it's not major though, is it?
You still ain't got it.
They can always say it. So now they can't say it, bro. Yeah, and if they win the European Cup, it shuts everybody up, including Chelsea and City, who think they're bigger than Arsenal. So for me, I do think there's a hatred towards Arsenal, but I think the reason it's done is because we've got a presence on social media that will bite, and it will get them clicks and content and views. And that's why TalkSport are doing what they're doing. It's clever, but we're a fan base that steers into it and says, we'll eat that up. It's not just TalkSport, by the way. There's everyone that does everything.
Every media platform.
Everyone
does it. Sky Sports, YouTubers, everything. Like, one thing I'll give Arsenal content creators, is we might talk about other clubs. I know you do obviously do great work. You do, Arsenal's your club. That's your bread and butter. You do a lot of Arsenal content, but you also have the panel shows with various different fans. I even see Leeds fans and whatnot. Yeah. But like 99.9%, give or take, is you talking about Arsenal. You look at other content creators, obviously, they're talking about Arsenal more than their own club. So my point of saying that is to say this: people need to stop biting the bullet, because as you said, if you don't click it, they know it's cash money in it. It's engagement. It works on the back end. So go and do that. The greater thing is, we can't be that boring then. We can't be that boring if everybody likes to watch us and whatnot. Right. So it's crazy. Before I forget though, Danya, Champions League, talk to me, because I gave our chances 60-40. I think what works for us is it's a cup final. You never know. Anything can kind of happen. I do think